All right, welcome. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. We are watching Alcaraz versus De Minaur. Anybody else having exhibition fatigue? I feel like we've been watching, like, have we watched a real match yet? I feel like we're just watching exhibitions all the time. But do we actually have any real tennis coming up? Oh, yeah, the Australian Open starts soon, but holy shit. There's just so many practice matches happening. But here we go. Let's watch this one. Alcaraz versus De Minaur. They play almost every year. I think the last 2 years they've done this exact thing. So let's see. First time we're getting a look at Alcaraz, kind of. We kind of watched him last week, so yeah. We watched them play. We watched Alcaraz playing against Sinner at the in Korea. So, and also we saw Alcaraz play yesterday in that 1 point slam. So here we are. By the way, chat, if you haven't checked out the video yet, go check out the video about of the for the draw reaction. If you want to go check that out, draw preview will be coming out later, much later, when I get to it. Also, the qualifiers have been set, so that's good too. All right. Pliskova versus Stevens? Cool. Yeah, I haven't checked out any of that, so don't tell me. Don't tell me. I want it to be a surprise. All right. Here we go. De Minaur versus Alcaraz. Night match. Charity matches, these are, which is nice. Djokovic beat Tiafoe earlier. In pretty irrelevant match. It didn't really feel like either guy really cared about the result, and Djokovic looked okay. So that, you know, Djokovic looked good. Didn't look sore. So that's a good sign. But yeah, are you going to do predictions like every year? I don't know. Probably not this year because people aren't watching the videos, so it's hard to do predictions when it's hard to make a video if nobody cares. So we're probably not going to do those videos, at least not for the Australian Open. Might bring them back for the French, but yeah. Also, I feel like those videos, I don't know, they're just getting a little repetitive. So I'm not, it's because tennis is repetitive a little bit at the moment, I'm predicting the same players every tournament because it's kind of, that's just the way it is, We're going to do I might do a bracket video instead because that's what I keep getting asked for. So I'll do a bracket video instead of a predictions video. And then at the French Open, if depending on whatever happens, we'll do whatever. I don't think Raducanu is getting that Sabalenka match. Why? Because she lost today? I don't think Raducanu really cared about playing today. I think her losing today is not a reflection in her, should not be a reflection of her chances in Australia. I think today is losing to Preston was more. I don't think Raducanu was bothered. I'm surprised she even played. Also, it's still raining in Auckland. It's still raining. God, it's brutal. Imagine being in Auckland trying to figure out. You got the draw and you're like, oh, I've got to play the Australian Open on Sunday. New Zealand's brutal this week playing there. All right, here we go. Hey, Jay Chu's there, the king of Mandarin pop in the house. Great to see. All right. Shelton's got moved to tomorrow, yeah. So, God, I would not want to play in Auckland right now. I'd be leaving. I'd be ditching. Especially Shelton. I think Shelton should ditch. 4-hour flight to Melbourne. Time zone difference as well. Like, there's a slight jet lag factor. And if you're Shelton, what's the point? Yeah. You know, come to Melbourne and you know, Auckland's not worth it. It's $250. It's not worth it. Not for Shelton. Everybody else should stay, but for Shelton, who's like, you know, got a tough draw as it is, I don't think he should stick around. He should make his way to Melbourne as soon as possible. All right, here we go. It's going to be somebody serving. I don't know. Alcaraz to serve. I don't know. All right. Shelton wants the number 5 ranking back for a week. Yeah, but there's no point in getting it to this week, right? Because he's not gonna. He has to win the Australia. He has to make the semis to keep it. So I don't think it's worth it. But what would I know? All right. Here we go. I'll tell you what, people in the crowd are making some really cool signs. That's a sick sign. Australian flag. That's a fancy sign. I like that. That was a good sign. People are making some good signs. Anyways, here we go, chat. One in the chat if we're here. I feel like everybody's really tired. We haven't even started the tournament yet and we're already exhausted. It's been a big start to the year. There's a lot going on. I need a break before the Open. Can we do that? I need a holiday before we start. It's been a crazy start of the year. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Alcaraz to serve. I woke up a little bit ago. Yeah, it's brutal. All right. Alcaraz to serve. Into the backhand of Demon. Backhand from Alcaraz. The Demon backhand down the line. Alcaraz gets on the stretch. Demon in the net with a volley, and Alcaraz wins the first point, 15-love. 15-love. By the way, last year they played. These guys played. I don't remember who won though. I can't remember. Oh no, sorry, it wasn't. It was 2020. Oh no, they played. Alcaraz played Popperin and Demon all last year. Which is interesting. 30-love. Yeah. Interesting. And then the year before they played in 2024 as well. And again, Alcaraz Demon and then Alcaraz played. Oh no, Popperin played Sinner. So Poppy didn't get the call this year, unfortunately. I thought Popperin Djokovic would have been a fun match. That would have been interesting. All right. As Alcaraz hits it out in 30-15. I thought we're getting live coverage. I am live. 30-15. This is not a recording. This is live. 4-4 rally. And that goes in there by Alcaraz, and it's 30-all. A little trouble for Carlos. $30-all. Yeah, no, I can't show the match because we'll get in trouble. I wish I could, though. but I can't do that. All right, backhand goes into the forehand of Demon. Alcaraz with a slice. De Minaur gets it back with a forehand. Alcaraz forehand again to the forehand of Demon. De Minaur, by the way, is playing well this year. Slice goes in from Demon. Alcaraz comes in net with a forehand and puts it away. All right. Alcaraz puts it away 40-30. Appreciate all you do, streaming all these matches, exhibitions or not. Still fun. Hey, thank you, Melia. Appreciate it. Are you going, though, for finals or something? No, I don't go to the Australian Open anymore. I just don't have the time. These tournaments are so busy, I just don't have time to get there. And I've been to the Australian Open, luckily, because I've lived in Melbourne my whole life, mostly. So I'm lucky enough that I've been. And also, what's that? What? I have a fear of crowds. What's that called? All right, Alcaraz holds one love. What's a fear of crowds called? The match is streaming on YouTube for free. Thanks for that. I guess I'll leave. I have undiagnosed aneclophobia, where I don't. I'm not a massive fan of crowds, and the Australian Open is full of people. 2 years ago when I went, it was not as busy, but now these days, I mean, they're breaking records every week, and I'm like, every day is a record-breaking day, and I'm like, I really don't want to. That doesn't sound fun to me right now. The only benefit of going to the Australian Open is meeting you guys, if I ever see any of you in real life. But yeah, I just don't have any... there's no motivation for me to go to the AO. Also, I mean, especially when I've got matches, I've got so much work I have to do during these tournaments, I can't really take a day to go and go to the tournament, because that's a day that I have to do other things. So, but it's okay. I don't feel like I'm missing out. As that goes to the net from De Minaur, and it's love 15. It's insane there now. No thanks. Yeah, it's getting a bit. Yeah, it's not so much that it's the crowds. It's more the people that don't watch tennis. There's a lot more people that don't like tennis that go to the tennis now. So it's more just being around people that are not they're not like tennis people. There's a lot of people that are not tennis people. They're just event people, and they're there for to hang out with friends So I'm not really into that. I don't want to be around people that are I want to be around people that like tennis, but that's it's hard to find in at the Australian Open. There's not too many anymore. They've got most of the crowds are there for the music or the beers or the makeup or the food. I don't know. They're not there for the tennis. I'll go one day again in the future. I want to go to the French Open. That's what I want to do. I want to go Roland Garros. That's what I want to do. By the way, you should go to the tennis if you want to. I'm not. Don't let me discourage you. You definitely go. It's worth going. It's definitely worth going. If you've never been, definitely go. Get Rod Laver tickets though, because otherwise you probably won't see any matches. All right, De Minaur gets a point. 15-30. $15.30. De Minaur serves again. Even qualies get crowded. Give me a break. Yeah, I mean, I loved it when they would never go back to it, but I loved it when the qualifiers were free, and it wasn't about the spectacle. It was more just about the tennis. I love we went to the qualies a couple of years ago. It was really interesting. But qualifying, going to the qualies now is not the same. It's very busy. Why did Alex leave A6? I don't know, but he's with Wilson now. So yeah, and he looks good. He's got the basketball short look going on. First serve was a fault, second serve. But yeah, I'm not sure why he left. All right, as De Minaur wins the point, saves 1, 30-40. 30-40. By the way, packed crowd. Knew that was going to happen. De Minaur got a little lucky with the net. Love 30-40. 30-40. Serve to the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand of De Minaur. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. De Minaur backhand. Into the Alcaraz forehand. De Minaur gets it back. Alcaraz forehand again. The forehand of Demon. As Alcaraz hits the backhand down the line for a winner. And there's the break. Alcaraz 2-love. Might go next year. Yeah, go for it for sure. All right. Alcaraz 15-love. All right, 15-love. Saw a clip of Carlos dressed as a bellhop. Wondered what that was about, helping people with luggage. Maybe it was one of those like undercover things. You know how they do that with like Indian Wells did that? They did that undercover, like the undercover, like they're pretending like to be parking attendants and stuff. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're doing like a video for that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's what the AO are going to they're going to release. An Indian Wells style video. The events could be comparable to the F1 as it seems by how they describe. You do get to see more action though when you go to the tennis in F1. As we go forehand rally. 30-love Alcaraz as De Minaur forehand to the slice of Alcaraz. De Minaur forehand again. Alcaraz with a pass. Too good. I mean, Alcaraz is a freak and we love it. That's what an exhibition's all about. What a shot. 40-love. You got your money's worth just now. That was it. That shot was it. By the way, on the TV, they just did the exact same thing as I did. All right. That was worth the price of admission. That was it. All right. 40-love. As a default second serve. Second serve. The backhand of De Minaur. There's a bit of forehand now from Alcaraz. The forehand of Demon. Alcaraz forehand again. The forehand of Demon. Alcaraz with a lob. De Minaur lets it bounce. Hits a good smash. Alcaraz gets it back with a lob. But it's out. It's 40-15. 40-15. All right, 40-15. And Alcaraz serves again. (40-15). Into the forehand of De Minaur. Good serve as Alcaraz back in cross court. De Minaur gets it. Alcaraz back in again. De Minaur goes down the line. Alcaraz gets it with a forehand cross court. De Minaur gets that forehand, but it's long and it's 3-love. Alcaraz takes the lead. A long lead. Big lead. Good lead. All right. Cool. All right. I could totally picture you as a live commentator lots of times better than the ones on TV, to be honest. Thank you, Amelia. Appreciate that. Tell them that. You say that to them as well. Tell them that. No, actually don't tell them that. I'll probably be annoyed, but I appreciate that. All right. 3 love. Also, I think probably tomorrow the schedule comes out. I don't think the schedule is going to come out now. I'll tell you what, I'm really not a fan of these mid-match interviews. God, I'm a fucking Grinch. I don't want to hear Todd Woodbridge asking dumb questions at Alex De Minaur. I don't want him to come out and be like, hey, I know it's for the crowd, but it's like also, please don't do that. Like, just let them play. Let's just play. I don't need Todd asking boring questions about nothing. Like, let's come on. Just let them play. Let them play. Talk to them at the end. All right. 3 love. De Minaur serves. Fault. Second serve. As the return goes back into Demon. 4-out from Alcaraz. Nope, Demon hit it out. It's love 15. I'll tell you what, if Demon gets bageled here, the crowd's going to riot. That wasn't in the script. Hey, Leighton's in the coach's box. Nice. Return goes in the forehand of De Minaur. Alcaraz backhand. Into the forehand of Demon as Alcaraz forehand on the stretch. De Minaur goes down the line. Alcaraz there with the backhand. But he hits it out. 15-0. Carlos is coughing, not a good sign. Being sick on arrival. Well, Korea was cold, so coming from like the freezing cold of South Korea to the hot Melbourne, that could be a factor, maybe. He did talk. He was screaming a lot yesterday in that 1-point slam, so it might be because of that too. De Minaur 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. By the way, chat, we're almost at 100 likes. Appreciate that. There's De Minaur 40-15. They play a best of 3 set match. 40-15. There's a bit of fault, second serve. As a return goes in the back end of Demon. Demon hits it out, 40-30. All right, 3-1. De Minaur holds. He is on the board. All right. As with a forehand now from Alcaraz. De Minaur to the volley of Alcaraz. De Minaur with a pass. Alcaraz with a smash. De Minaur with a slice. Goes in the net. Alcaraz just making up shots at this point. 15 love. So wait, Menchik, Perikar are playing later? Is that happening or is that not happening? All right, 15 love as Alcaraz hits a lovely winner. 30 love. Parks Eala would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. That's an interesting match. $30 love. As Alcaraz serves a fault, second serve. As De Minaur returns to the Alcaraz backhand, Alcaraz hits it out. 30-15. $30-15. $30-15. All right, as we default from Alcaraz, second serve. As with a forehand from Alcaraz, into the backhand of De Minaur on the stretch. Alcaraz with a forehand again. De Minaur gets that forehand down the line. Alcaraz with a volley is a winner. God, Alcaraz is just too good. He's not even trying properly. But when he does, it's too good. All right, 40-15. 40-15. God damn, Alcaraz, he's so good. All right. Nothing like a qualified battle over 5 sets. I don't think they played 5 sets in the qualies anymore. I think they cut it down to 3. Serve out wide. De Minaur gets it back. Alcaraz forehand to the forehand of Demon. Alcaraz volley. De Minaur pass is a lob. And that's too good. Nice work by Demon. 40-30. Great rally by Demon. All right, 40-30. Stadium is full, yeah. The stadium is full. It's a packed house. All right. $40-30. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Ooh, double fault. All right, we get the deuce. We get the deuce. Deuce is with a second serve. Into the forehand of De Minaur. Alcaraz backhand. To the backhand of Demon. As Alcaraz backhand again. Into the forehand of De Minaur. Alcaraz slice. De Minaur gets with a forehand. Alcaraz slices it back. De Minaur hits into the corner. Alcaraz pass. De Minaur volleys a winner. No, Alcaraz gets there but hits it wide. All right. By the way, Alcaraz is playing like this is... He's got to be careful because he's stretching a little too much for my liking. Carlos, please don't hurt yourself. Like, he went for that slide, and that was dangerous. I'm scared. Don't overexert. You don't need to do that. You don't need to lose your legs, please. He's running for everything. Like, I'm a little worried. Like, don't extend yourself, please. All right. Advantage Demon. Did Alcaraz will win Australian Open? He's got a decent draw, maybe. Backhand slice the forehand to De Minaur. Backhand from Alcaraz. De Minaur down the line. Goes long, and it's back to deuce. He needs to remember this is exhibition. Yeah, God forbid he gets hurt. That would be a horrific. All right. As Alcaraz with a great serve advantage. He needs to remember this is not worth hurting your leg for. All right, advantage Alcaraz. As a fault second serve. Second serve. Somebody brought a kid to this tennis and they're not having a good time. They're crying. As a backhand slice, Alcaraz down the line. De Minaur forehand cross court. Alcaraz gets it. De Minaur can't get that one. Alcaraz too good. 4-1. They're crying because Demon's getting his ass kicked at the moment. 4-1. Or Mirra versus Andreeva versus Joint. God, we should have watched that. If this wasn't happening, we would be watching that. All right. 4-1 Alcaraz. Save for the real match? I know, right? Dude is getting a little too serious. Jodar has an easy section. He'll have his breakout at the AO. Could beat Djokovic even. Really? All right, let me have a look. I'm going to spoil the surprise. Let me have a look at I don't know where the qualies have been set, so I got to redo my. I have to redo my video because I did it before the qualies came out. Okay. Ooh, Opelka versus Kia. I think that's his name. The Norwegian guy. They're playing. That's fun. Jodar versus Sakamoto. Winner plays Menchik. Okay. Basev already made it again. He's playing O'Connell first round. Prismic comes in as a lucky loser. Could play Sinner second round. Prismic got to set off Djokovic. So that could be interesting. On the women's side, any madness? Qualies coming through. Nothing crazy. Stevens Pliskova is very fun. Winner plays Fernandez. Interesting. That's interesting. And then Yuan versus Swiatek. Yuan was in the top 50 not that long ago, so maybe that could be something awkward. Swiatek's draw sucks anyway, but that could make it a little tougher, even that first round, you know. Hey, what's going on, Linda? Lucky loser spot for Tomic, sadly. Look, there's other players that could be pulling out injured, so there could be still a spot for Bernie, potentially. Fernandez versus Chen's a good first round too, yeah. Bublik is in Carlos's draw. That one is I'm hoping we get that too. Yeah, the draw's out. I made videos about it. Go check out those videos. They literally just came out. If you want to see me yelling and screaming at when the draw came out, there it is. Go watch those videos. 4-1. As with a forehand from Alcaraz into the forehand of De Minaur. Alcaraz backhand down the line. God, he's too good. He's just too good. Love 15. This is Alcaraz's court. De Minaur's just on the other side, just hanging out. He's got about as much chance as I do at this point. All right. Mirra looking solid. Yeah, I can see she's up a double break. Love 15. Now, the draw came out today. As the return goes back into De Minaur. Back in now from Alcaraz into the forehand of De Minaur. Alcaraz forehand. Again, at the forehand of Demon. Alcaraz with a backhand cross-court. Demon gets it, goes down the line. Alcaraz on the stretch, puts in the net. And it's 15-all. 15-all. All right, 15-all. Alcaraz is taking this very... they're not taking... I mean, seriously is not the word, but they're playing very intensely. Definitely a lot of intensity as De Minaur serves an ace 30-15. Bublik, yeah, in Carlos' draw, yeah. Mirra versus Schneider, yep. Battle of the doubles players. Is that what in Adelaide? All right. 30-15. As with a backhand to backhand rally, slice Alcaraz in the net, and it's 40-15. What is head-to-head between Bencic and Raducanu? I have no idea. 40-15. $40-15. $40-15. De Minaur serves. A fault, second serve. Hey, thank you, Ed. You appreciate it. As we serve in the backhand of Alcaraz. Slice from Demon. As Alcaraz hit the forehand. De Minaur with a slice pass, but Alcaraz volleys it. Oh, it's in the net, though. De Minaur holds 4-2. Bencic, Raducanu 1-all. There you go. One all. All right. All right. Love 15. As we just 7 to the forehand of Demon. Return goes out. 15-all. As Alcaraz too strong for Demon. 30-15. Nice hitting from Alcaraz. All right. Forehand rally. Alcaraz hits it cross court at the forehand Demon. Demon hits it long. It's 40-15. The girl playing Raducanu in the first round of the AO won an ITF recently. Ooh. That is tricky. Oh, yeah, this is best of 3. Best of 3. 10-point tiebreak. All right, 5-2. Alcaraz leads. I remember Alex told Carlos to play seriously in previous exhibitions to check his level. Maybe did the same thing time too. Oh, I mean, maybe. But why would Alcaraz do anything for Alex De Minaur? You know, like, if I'm playing an exhibition, I'm Carlos Alcaraz, right? And my opponent says, hey, play the best you can. Why would I do that for him? I don't want him to know what I can do. Like, I want to keep that close to me. You know, I don't want De Minaur to feel like, you know, I don't want to show my best. I want to keep that a secret until we play for real. Like, why would Alcaraz waste his best tennis in an exhibition to give De Minaur, you know, they might play in the quarterfinals. So, like, yeah, I don't think Alcaraz would you know, I mean, Djokovic doesn't, right? Djokovic doesn't play at 100% in exhibitions because he doesn't want his opponents to know. 5-2. This could be good practice for AO. Yeah, I mean, look, these are charity matches, right? It's not really about form. De Minaur played well last week. You know, Alcaraz hasn't played really. I mean, he won't play until the first day of the Australian Open for real. Like, he played 2 exhibitions. That doesn't really count. But Carlos is too naive and nice. Yeah. He's like, I'll show you my best in the exhibition. I'll still beat you in real life. All right, 15 love. Yeah, it's funny because, like, I really was opposed to the Saudi 1000 being before the Australian Open. But after this year, I'm kind of like, maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe, like, I thought, oh, no, that's a terrible idea. You know, before a Grand Slam playing a 1000 is crazy. But after this year, with, like, players choosing exhibitions over real tennis, maybe a 1000 event before the Slam wouldn't be a bad idea because it would entice players to actually play. I don't know. After this, like, this year, it's kind of been like, oh, everyone's just like, nobody wants to play real tennis right now. Everyone's playing exhibitions. But if you put the 1000 there, maybe it makes the players play. And maybe the ATP might be thinking that. They might be thinking, hey, if we put on a 1000 before the AO, Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic might feel the need to play. Instead of going off to South Korea and playing exhibitions, and instead of not playing 250s, right? It might actually entice them to play real matches, and that's what the ATP want, right? They don't want. I mean, the start of the year for the men's event, unfortunately, besides, you know, Hurkacz's great comeback and even Medvedev winning was great, but not having the superstars on the first week of the year, and the first time Alcaraz and Sinner are going to play an ATP event will be in February. You know, so I think logistically it would be kind of a nightmare, but it wouldn't be the worst thing if they try to entice players to compete. As that goes out by, you know what I'm saying, Chad? Am I making sense? 40-30. On the women's side, everybody plays. Like, everybody plays early in the tournament. Like, last week, you could have said it was a 1000 last week because we had a 5-3 lead. Last week, Sabalenka, Swiatek, all the big names played, right? But I don't know. I would rather see these guys playing in real stuff, or Alcaraz playing in a real tournament. And if that means putting 1,000 before it, maybe it isn't a bad idea. Maybe it doesn't sound as bad. Like, they probably won't do it, but also maybe it's not the worst idea to make, to put before a Grand Slam a big tournament to entice players to play. But then it would be at the expense of the United Cup, though, because the United Cup wouldn't get as much. Maybe the United Cup gets dissolved. I don't know. What does that do, right? Does the United Cup come after the Australian Open? But who plays after that? Probably no one, because everyone leaves, right? So I don't know. With these exhibitions, are current tennis players playing a greater volume of matches than past generations? Injury more probable? What do you mean? I don't know if playing the exhibitions makes more injuries. It's more just, maybe that's what it is. This is the players are playing exhibitions because if they play real tennis, they play so much real tennis, they just want to break. I don't know. Maybe that's it. 30 love. Exhibitions are less pressured, though. They are, for sure. As with a serve into the forehand of Alcaraz. De Minaur, Alcaraz forehand winner, 40 love. But on the women's side, everybody played. So I'm not really worried about WTA. WTA, every big name, we've seen them play, and we've kind of got an idea of who's favorite. I think the issue with this year is that Alcaraz and Sinner haven't played, and last year was the same thing. Haven't played a real tennis match. So it's really hard to know who's in form, because Medvedev's in form, right? He played really well. Hurkacz played well last week. Bublik played well last week. Musetti played well last week. De Minaur was okay. Fritz lost. And Zverev lost. They were upsets. But then Alcaraz and Sinner we haven't seen. So how do we know what they are in relation to Alcaraz and Sinner? If Alcaraz had played and lost in Adelaide or Brisbane, that would have been more important than this match, for example. When it comes to tennis, this match is more important for charity, as that goes out by Alcaraz on the lob, and it's 40-30. But to try and understand where everybody is in the world in tennis, it's hard right now because most of the top men's players haven't played properly. So we don't know what to expect. We don't know how to judge if Alcaraz is better than Sinner right now. Or is Sinner better than Alcaraz right now? Or is Djokovic better or worse? Geez, that is a terrifying mask. How'd they let that guy in? That was terrifying. You know what I mean? Whereas before a French Open, we get Rome. And that helps us understand as Alcaraz puts away the winner in its first set in the bag. 6-3. Alcaraz are too far ahead in the rankings. Well, that's another thing. Maybe putting a 1,000 event before the Australian Open next year or the year after will entice them to play, because it will give the other players a chance to catch up before the AO. I mean, if you put 1,000 points before the Australian Open and after that tournament the rankings get locked for the seeds, that 1,000 points could be the difference between 1 and 2 in the world. It could be the difference between 4 and 5, right? It could, that 1,000 points, 250 is not enough points, right? 250 is not enough to move the needle that much, unless you're Bublik. But Bublik already was going to be number 10 seed because Draper was out. But 1,000 points before the AO, it would be like Rome, where Rome, you win Rome, you could go from 5 to 3, right? And that is a big difference. Or you could go from whatever, right? And it could actually have a impact on your seeding at the French. The Australian Open don't have that on the men's side because there's no big tournaments. The United Cup is the only big tournament, but that's not, you could win your matches and still lose, right? So I don't know. Good idea, 1,000 before an AO will make things more competitive. Yeah, and they might not do it because I think it would be, they have to talk to the Australian Open because the Australian Open are probably going to be pissed at that. They won't like it. But if they're not getting the best players in the world playing week 1 of the ATP, it might be an option to get them to play. Even if it's not in Australia, they're playing in Saudi, it's still, like I said, Djokovic, Alcaraz, Sinner are not playing ATP matches until the second week of Feb. Rotterdam. And then Sinner's not playing till Doha. Djokovic might not play till Miami. Indian Wells. He might play Doha, but you know what I'm saying? Because we've got to remember as well that the tennis circuit is split, is segmented into different parts, right? You've got the ATP, you've got the Australian Open, you've got the French Open, you've got Wimbledon, you've got the US Open, the WTA, and they're all different. So if Alcaraz plays the Australian Open, that doesn't benefit the ATP, right? It doesn't benefit them. The ATP benefit from their tournament, everything else. So again, when the faces of the ATP are not playing ATP tennis, it's not good. But for fans, it doesn't matter, right? For us, it doesn't really matter because we're going to watch Alcaraz Sinner next week. Doesn't matter. But if the ATP are concerned that they're not getting the best players in the world playing their events in the start of the year, you want the first week of the year to have everybody who's healthy, right? 15-0. I think week one, if we start week one with a big tournament and everybody joins week one who's healthy, that is a way better start to the season than having 2 weeks of tennis where we don't have Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, and then eventually we get there. I'd rather start, I think the day, week one should be the opening of the season should have everybody who's healthy. Alcaraz and Sinner should be there day one of the tour. Like the WTA. Week one, we had the top 10 play. Everybody in the top 10 played last week. The ATP need to figure out a way to do that. And maybe it is Saudi 1000 in January. Maybe that's how you do it. All right, 15:30. As De Minaur serves. A let. $15.30. As Alcaraz really just chilling, by the way. He hasn't really been bothered. As De Minaur double faults. 15:40. Did the former world number ones join next week one? Do you mean are you talking about the Federer thing? That's happening on Saturday. That hasn't happened yet. That happens on Saturday. All right, 40-30. De Minaur saves one. Sorry, 30-40. In the past, most skip the tournaments before the AO. Well, Sinner hasn't played a pre-Australian Open tournament for a couple of years. Alcaraz has skipped due to injury in the last couple of years. I think 2 years ago he was supposed to play. He got injured. Rafa and Novak usually play something. This is the first time Djokovic didn't play something for a bit. As that goes in the net by De Minaur and Alcaraz gets the break. Federer used to play Hopman Cup, right? I'm just trying to think. Rafa used to play sometimes before the AO, but usually he'd be injured. So he wouldn't play, not because he didn't want to, but because he couldn't. But Djokovic usually, last year Djokovic played Brisbane. Year before he played the United Cup. Djokovic, this year is the first time I think Novak's coming in with no matches, but that's because he might be injured. So yeah. And again, I think if you're looking from the ATP's point of view, it's probably it's not great to have the best three of the best four players in the world not playing on the ATP to start the year. Djokovic was supposed to play. That's a shame. But Sinner and Alcaraz would not even, I don't even think they considered playing. They were like, no, we're playing a $2 million exhibition and then we're going to play charity matches. But Sinner and Alcaraz probably had no reason to play last week. Brisbane wasn't on their radar. You know, United Cup, they're like, you don't need us. Spain and Italy have enough players, you know? Like, yeah, Rafa used to play Doha. Yeah, maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe they need to put, I know they got Hong Kong, but maybe they need to have like that, like 500 event, not in Australia, somewhere in like, you know, somewhere in the middle on the way to Australia. Because Doha is a stopover to Australia. So is Dubai, right? Maybe that's what you do. You know, I think Djokovic used to play Doha as well. So maybe that's what you need to do. You need a midpoint tournament where you go from Europe to Doha, you play an event, and then you come to Australia. Like it breaks it up instead of going like, okay, from here to here. Maybe that's what they need. 500 event needs to happen minimum. They need a 500 event, I think, as we're a backhand Alcaraz winner. And again, Alcaraz is too good. 40 love. 500. Yeah, I think if they put a bigger event early in the year, maybe that'll help. I know the United Cup's supposed to be that, but I don't know. A lot of players used to play before the AO, yeah. Yeah, Brisbane, yeah. There's a lot. It felt like there was a lot more like top 10 players playing back in the day. And look, this is also like, you know, I think this conversation also is because, you know, if we didn't have Sinner and Alcaraz dominating, we would be like, oh, you know, De Minaur and Zverev and you know all these other guys, we would be more interested into you know watching what they do. But at the end of the day, if Sinner and Alcaraz aren't around, it's such a drop off, isn't it? Look at the rankings. I mean, between second and third, it's a like massive drop. So how do you make Alcaraz and Sinner play first week of the year? Like, how do you get there? How do you entice them to play in a real tournament? Like, that's the question, right? And I'm sure the ATP are probably trying to figure that out as well. And it might be Saudi exhibition might be Saudi 1000 might be put on as a result of you know to that. I mean, a rankings enticement would be. I mean, let's think about it right now, right? If you had a 1000 event last week, Sinner and Alcaraz would be more likely to play because Sinner could have been number one. He would have, like, if he wins that 1000 and Alcaraz doesn't play, the number one ranking would have been on the line. So it would have made Alcaraz and Sinner fight for world number one before the AO. Does that make sense? Like, that would have worked last week, you know? 40 love. Like, you just gotta figure out a way how to get Alcaraz and Sinner to want to play to start the year. And maybe 1,000 ranking points might be that. You know, because 250 points is not enough. The prize money won't, you know, they obviously want to, they'd give up 250 points to go make $2 million. But if you put 1,000 points on the table, maybe that'll make them think about it. The players will complain about the schedule if they put a 1,000 before the AO. Yeah, I mean, they probably will, but it won't be mandatory. They'll make it non-mandatory, so you don't have to play. But 1,000 points is a pretty big enticement, at least for the top players. Because, again, I think if we're going to open the season, like, think of every other sport. Unless there's an injury, every other sport has the best players playing week one. They're not resting week one. They're not resting week two, unless they're injured. De Minaur gets on the board. Like, you know, unless they get injured, you know, the best basketballers are playing on the first match or the first day. You know, they're getting all the big names, unless LeBron's injured, right? But nobody's like, you know, starting 10 matches in because, you know, 10 games in because they couldn't be bothered or they didn't want to. You know what I mean? Doha 2009 field was Rafa, Murray, Monfils, Roddick, Federer, Kohlschreiber. Yeah, that's insane. How do you get that back? How do you do that again? How do you do that? How do you make that happen? Those were the top seeds. That's crazy. What a stacked event. Was it a 250? Or was it like was it a 250 back then? Or did they have it at 500 back then? Doha was a great. It is still a great tournament. It's just been removed. It's been moved, and Dubai has sort of been. It's been overshadowed by Dubai a little bit, but Doha is still a great event. It was a 250. That's insane. That's so insane. But also, you know what another thing is? Back then, maybe they all felt like they had to play. Whereas Alcaraz and Sinner probably don't feel like they need to play because the competition is not there for them. They're not scared of anybody, so they don't feel the need to get practice beforehand. They're like, well, yeah, we just have to make sure that we play each other because we're the only threat we have. Whereas back in 2009, Roger, Rafa, Andy, both Andys, right? They all felt the need to have to play because they didn't feel like they were invincible. Even though Rafa and Roger back then were still invincible. But maybe Alcaraz and Sinner just don't think anybody... That's what... You know what? It would be actually a great thing if one or both of them lost at the Australian Open in like upset quarterfinals because it might just... I'm not saying that they think they're too good, right? I don't think they're, they got big heads about it, but they are too good. And they don't have to play against everybody in the first week because they know that they don't have to, they can beat them. They don't feel the need. But if they lost at the Australian Open, maybe next year they rethink their strategy and go, maybe I need some practice. Like I need to play a real tournament before. Like it might actually like be a bit of a shock. And that wouldn't be a bad thing for us because then we'd get to see them. Because right now they're way too good for everybody. There's no competition, so why would they waste their time playing a 250 when no one in that tournament's a threat, and they don't need the points or the prize money? There's a bit of four now from Alcaraz down the line. Slice goes in from goes out by Demon. 30-15. Brisbane Field 2019 was Nadal, Nishikori, Edmund, Medvedev, Raonic, De Minaur, Kyrgios, Dimitrov. Yeah, that's crazy too. 30-15. But yeah, I don't know. It's. I think this year is and it's probably a product of last year, the Sinkeraz dominance, and then bringing this into this year with Sinner and Alcaraz not playing beforehand, not playing any official tennis. How do we get them to play week one? You want to start the season off with the best players. Week one of the tour needs to have those the best, like the faces of the tournaments, right? The faces of the tour, I should say. 30 as we return into the backhand of Alcaraz. De Minaur forehand into the forehand of Alcaraz on the stretch. De Minaur goes down the line. Alcaraz there with the backhand pass. De Minaur volleys. Alcaraz backhand again. There's a lob. De Minaur with a backhand volley in the net. Alcaraz is too good. That lob of Alcaraz is maybe it's totally rated. But it's he rips it. It's got some serious rip. I guess because Doha back then was the first week of the year, it's a popular location. Yeah, true. It's a good and like Doha is a good it's a good midpoint too. Like I said, it's on the way to Australia. It's sort of like you go from Europe to Doha, and then you go from Doha to Australia. It breaks the trip up, as De Minaur. It's a great return. And we get to deuce. Good return from Demon. We get the deuce. Serve again. There's the backhand return. Goes backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Demon. Goes long. Advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz. So what else we got going on this week? So tomorrow we've got Sinner taking on FAA. And that's it. And then the tournament, and then the AO starts. Pretty much. That's it. All right, advantage Demon. Alcaraz, Demon hits it out. And it's 3-1. This crowd is very... they were promised competition, and they're getting just a classic Alcaraz. It is full crowd, but also the crowd's not getting what they want. They're not getting the player they're going for is not winning. All right, 3-1 as De Minaur hits another error. Love 15. If Carlos, an Aussie, seems he's been wearing Aussie colours. Yeah. Yeah, love 15. Mirra's up a double break in the second. Oh, God damn it. What a terrible day for Australia. 4-4 rally. As we get a forehand again from Alcaraz, the forehand Demon. Demon in the net. Love 30. What have we learnt today, chat? Nothing. Love 30. We learnt the draw. But for these matches, we've not really learned much. Love 30. Umboka's scary. That's what I've learned. True. She is. Alcaraz is taking exhibition like Sinner. Yeah, this is getting hard to watch. 4-4 rally. As De Minaur goes down the line to the backhand of Alcaraz. De Minaur backhand. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Again, the forehand of Demon. As Alcaraz backhand. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. De Minaur. Alcaraz backhand again. De Minaur gets it with the forehand. Alcaraz goes down the line. Demon backhand cross. Alcaraz drop shot goes wide. It's a slice, sorry. 15-30. And Demon wins a point. And the crowd go wild because he hasn't won many lately. 15-30. Is this surface hard court similar to Saudi one? The Saudi one will be a hard court. I don't know for how similar, but depends what it is. When it is. All right. 15-30. Will Demon ever get to Alcaraz's level mentally? He is probably there mentally. It's not mentality is not Demon's problem. Against Alcaraz, it's shots and shot making and really just talent. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the same talent as Alcaraz, and Alcaraz has more talent than anybody at the moment. 15-40. Chat, this might be the worst exhibition we've ever seen. Actually, no, that's not true. But this is definitely the most disappointing matchup. Now, would Alcaraz be kicking his ass this badly if they weren't in the same quarter? Is this Alcaraz sending a message? De Minaur serves an ace 30-40. On a day that's been just absolutely terrible for Australian tennis players, Kokonakis withdrawing was that started the horror. This has been a terrible day for Australian tennis. Joints getting absolutely smacked. Tomanovic got injured yesterday. Dasher got bageled. I mean, it's been a terrible 48 hours for Australian tennis. We've taken 10 steps back in the last 48 hours. And this might just be the most depressing of it all, because our best player is getting embarrassed by a guy who is, in the rankings, not that much higher, but also in talent is so much better. Like, Alcaraz is like, yeah, he might be like, 7 spots higher, but he's like 7 million times better. As a backhand lob goes out by Alcaraz, that was charity, that one. That was generosity by Alcaraz. He's like, I better hit that one high and wide. Yeah, Preston did beat Raducanu, but the problem with that match is that I don't think Raducanu was that bothered. But yes, and also it didn't happen here. It happened in New Zealand, so nobody paid attention. Birrell beating a qualifier, cool. But, you know, our best players are losing. Vukic lost to Paul. There's been more... We've taken more L's today in Australia than we have... even the draw came out. All the Australians got shit draws. You know, no Australians got a good draw. De Minaur's going to play Berrettini first round. Dasher, I didn't even know where she was in the draw. Joint's got a tough draw. The draw was against us. It's been a tough day for Australian tennis. Tough day. There's only been small wins. Birrell making the semis in Adelaide. That's a small win. But we've taken bigger L's than we've taken small dubs. Jones got smoked by Mboko the other day. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Jones, he's got Mboko. Yeah, but that's another one. Jones is playing on Mboko. That sucks. You wonder why we don't watch Aussies. Anyways, Demon holds 3-2. You know why we don't watch Aussies? Because it's just depressing. All right. Those ladies are wearing Vegemite shirts. We love it. Yeah, it's just tough, man. It is tough. Joint got Valentova first round. Yeah, that sucks. God, it's brutal, man. So brutal. By the way, Chad, I love that this exhibition is all the donations are going up. By the way, I hope the ticket sales go to the kids as well. If it's just donations, it should be the tickets are going to a kids charity, the Australian Tennis Foundation, which is supporting children with disadvantages. So that's good to see. Hopefully the ticket sales as well, because if they're just relying on the donations, it should be the tournament should be chipping in with the ticket sales. I'm pretty sure the ticket sales go to it. This is better than Medvedev and Sinner at the 16 Slam. Yeah, but that was just brutal. Like Sinner was just like ruthless, which made it funny. Mirra serving for the match 5 love. Okay. So our best women's player is also getting smoked. So our best 2 players are getting wrecked right now. And this is why, chat. This is why we don't watch Aussies. Depressing, man. I'm bummed out. The crowd's bummed out. There's no atmosphere. Until Alcaraz does something fancy, like everybody's quiet. God, God, this must be like the worst stream ever. It's just so... I might as well just put the sad rain sounds on. It's just so depressing. If it wasn't funny, I'd cry. Crowd's dead in Adelaide too? Yeah, there's nothing to cheer. We won the Ashes, but now we're just like, now what? We can't win the tennis. This does not bode well for the AO. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Australians not doing well doesn't help the AO at all. We're supposed to be okay. Somebody tell Alcaraz it's an exhibition and we're supposed to hype up the tournament, not make everybody watch something else. Exhibitions never have the same edge as normal tournaments. Yeah, because there's no stakes. Backhand rally. Last night was fun, though. The energy last night was great as De Minaur hits a terrible lob and Alcaraz puts it away. 30-15. Tell a joke. Australian tennis. Right now. All right. Alcaraz, by the way, hit that. That was a terrible technical smash by Alcaraz. He barely hit it in, but he hit it in. All right, serving to the backhand of Demon. Demon hits it out, 40-15. Medvedev has picked back up his level recently. We'll have to see how far he goes this year. Now that injury's gone. Now, yeah, I'm so pumped for Medi. God, Medvedev winning the AO would actually be sick. If Medvedev won the AO to start this 2026 season, that'd be epic. Walton is getting bageled by Alcaraz. Walton. We've got an Aussie playing Alcaraz in the first round of the AO. Oh, God. been a dark day for tennis, for Australian tennis. The only highlight of this match is that Leighton's there. My hero. Channel wouldn't exist if Leighton wasn't my hero. I met him once. Got a photo. True story. And then I quit my job and then COVID happened. All right, 4-2. De Minaur in trouble. Just get Leighton out there. Get Leighton to take this guy on. Backhand and backhand rally. There's De Minaur slice. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. De Minaur forehand. Again to the forehand of Alcaraz on the stretch. De Minaur gets a point. Alcaraz in the net. 15-love. I saw Walton versus Carlos at Queens last year. Cool. Was it good? Medi winning AO would be like Nadal winning the AO back in, 22? That'd be sick, though. Medvedev winning the AO would probably be... would just be really deserved, you know? I mean, imagine he did to beat Alcaraz and Sinner to win it if he beat them both. That'd be kind of nuts. I don't know. I hope he plays one of them, though. I don't care if he wins or not. I just want him to play one of them as De Minaur hits it wide 15-0. I just love to see Medvedev take on Alcaraz or Sinner. Just play, and he will play one of them if he makes the semis. But I don't know. Medvedev winning the Australian Open after all those heartbreaks would just be. I don't think anybody would be mad at that. Yeah, 3 finals, 2 of them he was up 2 sets to love. I mean. Yeah. 15-0. Medvedev is with, I don't know, I made a video about it. Go watch it. Backhand now from Alcaraz into the backhand of Demon. Alcaraz forehand. Into the forehand of Demon as Alcaraz with the backhand on the stretch. De Minaur forehand again. Alcaraz slice. Into the forehand of Demon. Alcaraz slice again. Into the forehand of Demon. Alcaraz with a forehand cross court. De Minaur goes down the line. Alcaraz there with the backhand cross court. De Minaur into the backhand of Alcaraz again. De Minaur forehand. Again to the slice of Alcaraz, but Alcaraz in the net. All right. Nice rally by Demon. The crowd are cheering. 30-15. Zverev winning the AO would be like Medvedev. No, I think Medi winning the AO is, at this stage, I think is more likely. Based on his... I don't know. Medvedev feels like he's closer to winning a Grand Slam than Zverev right now. After the last couple of months. Like the last couple of months, Zverev hasn't done as much as Medvedev to convince me he could win. Yeah. Zverev Medvedev quarterfinal would be epic. 40-15. Winner plays. Is it winner plays Alcaraz? Yeah. Winner plays Alcaraz. So Alcaraz Medvedev semi-final. Could be a thing. 40-15. De Minaur to take another game, but Alcaraz is really just he's cruising. Return goes out. De Minaur holds 4-3. Alcaraz in the second. De Minaur on the board again. All right. Mirra is into the semis first semi since Indian Wells. Ooh, okay. Jodar has made a great run in the Canberra qualies, lost the blotch in the final. Yeah, he's I wouldn't say he's a dark horse, but he's definitely a threat coming into this tournament for sure. That's why he's in my team. Oh, actually, let me check my team. He was going to be in my... I was going to put Blocked in my team, but I think I have to get rid of him because he lost. I have to get rid of Blocked, and now I might get Jodar in. Or do I already got him in. I got to get rid of Blocked. Atman. I feel like Atman's not going to do well now because Djokovic, so we might have to get rid of him. Did Osuiji I can't pronounce her name. Did she get in? Did she get in? No, she lost. Who did get in? Qualifiers. Sloane Stephens. Do I get her in the team? Maybe I'll put Stephens in. She's got to be affordable. Yeah, 2.5. I mean, Sloane Stephens is in the team. We'll get her in. Valentova, Joint, Eala, Bergs is good. Atman. I don't think Atman's going to beat Djokovic, so we won't go with him. All right, 15 love. 15 love. Maybe I'll get Baseva ready because he came through the qualies and he's pretty cheap. Baseva ready comes in. Oh, I know who I'm gonna get. I'm getting Budkov. Budkov's coming in. He's cheap as well. I like him. Budkov's in as well. Yeah. Budkov gets promoted. We're gonna watch him eventually. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that team. All right, 40 love. All right, 40 love. As that goes for a fault from Alcaraz, second serve. As a return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Demon. Sorry, backhand from Demon in the net. 5-3 Alcaraz. What else to do? Blocks could get in as a lucky loser, so I might put him in the team for later. For future. Watch out for Arthur Ferry. Oh, maybe do I put Ferry in my team? Does Ferry get the promotion? Arthur Ferry's only 1.4 mil. All right, we'll put Ferry in. That gives me another little bit more to play with. Love 15. There's De Minaur serving to stay in the match. We'll put Arthur Ferry on the bench. As with a fault second serve. As De Minaur double faults, love 30. Love 30. Love 30. I want to see Gaboli in the final. That'd be fun. Oh, Blocks did his shoulder. Oh, so, yeah, okay. We're not going to get him then if he's injured. There's no point in putting him in. All right, love 30. Brooksby could have fourth round if he gets past Bublik and Fucsovic. Yeah, but he's got to get past Bublik. I mean, that's tough. Love 40. I love 30, sorry. 7 to the back end of Alcaraz. Return is long. 15-30. Brooksby could have... Yeah, I don't know about Brooksby. I'd put Kia in. I did. That's who I put in. Kia is fun. Kia, Jota, Basevaredi, Prismic, Bloksh, Fonseca, Tien, Sakamoto. Okay. Could be the biggest threat to Carlos and Sinner, maybe. Ace down the tier from Demon. Yeah, I've got most of them in my team already. What's Prismic? Prismic is only 2 mil. Maybe do I get Prismic in? Anyways, 4 now into the back end of Alcaraz. Alcaraz is the winner, and it's match point Alcaraz. Great shot from Carlos. Too good. 30-40. How many sets we going in this match? Yeah, it's only best of 3. I'll tell you, if I bought tickets to this, I'd be kind of hoping that it all goes to charity, because if you're a fan of De Minaur, this match sucks. Like, this sucked. This has not been fun. Alcaraz has hit some highlights, but not. I mean, not. He hasn't been. But Alcaraz has been just better than De Minaur. But I don't think Alcaraz has really done. I mean, he's played some really fun points, but that's about it. Like, but man, I mean, this has been pretty kind of hard to watch at times as a De Minaur fan. 30-40. Serve into the backhand of Alcaraz. De Minaur backhand into the backhand of Alcaraz. De Minaur forehand now. Alcaraz gets over the backhand cross court. De Minaur goes down the line. Alcaraz forehand cross goes out, and Demon survives. All right, deuce. He's never. I mean, De Minaur hasn't been in this match at all from the start. It's been Alcaraz from the start. Deuce. Into the forehand from Demon. That goes wide. And it's advantage Alcaraz. Advantage Alcaraz to get the win. As the return goes to forehand of De Minaur. Backhand from Alcaraz into the backhand of Demon. Alcaraz with the forehand in the net, and Demon gets back to deuce. All right, Demon back to deuce. As De Minaur serves again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. De Minaur forehand behind Alcaraz is too good. That might have been the best shot De Minaur's hit all night. Advantage Demon. If we get Mirra and Boko Adelaide final, will we watch? Yes. Yes. We will watch that. For sure. All right, De Minaur, good serve. He survives, but he's going to have to break Alcaraz to get back in this. But De Minaur survives for now. All right. 5-4. De Minaur Berrettini first round crazy. I know, right? Hey, M&M's. I love M&M's. That's what I need. I need M&M's. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. All right. By the way, I don't even know what we're doing tomorrow. Sinner's playing FAA, so we'll watch Sinner. God, I kind of hope FAA wins to make these exhibitions worth it, because Djokovic beat Tiafoe. This match has been one-sided. Tomorrow, I hope tomorrow is competitive. The Musetti match was half a match because Musetti retired. Last night's one-point slam was fun. The women's matches have been close-ish. But I kind of hope if FAA beats Sinner tomorrow, they make it. These exhibitions will feel a little bit more important, but a little bit more, as in like from a tennis point of view, important. All right, 5-4. As Alcaraz goes to the back in a demon, back in Alcaraz, into the back in a demon. As Alcaraz back in again, hits a winner cross court. How was the draw? Fun. I love draw day. Even though it's a lot of work, like I've got a lot of things I have to do, but I do love draw day. Draw day is fun. What did you make of Carl and Andy Lee last night? Yeah, dynamic. I don't watch television, so Australian celebrities I don't really care. Andy Lee was funny, and Karl Stefanovic, I think, like it was kind of annoying that he was pretending to be like an amateur, even though he is. But like, I was only going for the people that were like unknowns. Celebrities didn't need the $1 million. I was rooting for the actual, like, for the money to go to somebody who needed it, As that goes wide by Demon, 40 love. Like Carl like jumping around, like, and I'm like, oh bro. Andy Lee was funny though. I liked him. He was good. He was funny. How he talked so much shit to Osaka and then double faulted. And he did an underarm serve that went out by a mile. That was he was funny. Carl Stefano. I mean, I don't watch TV. I don't watch morning TV, so I don't really. I'm not really a fan of anybody. But as De Minaur hits it back on the return, Alcaraz in the net, 40-15. Damien Oliver was good too, though, and I wanted Bailey Smith to do better, but he lost to the eventual champ, so he can't be mad. $40-15. Carl against Maria was funny. Yeah, I guess. 40-15. Double fault, 40-30. Oak was just trying to make this a little more interesting. 40-15. Sorry, 40-30. Kyrgios was funny smashing the racket. Yeah, I think he legitimately did that too. He was laughing the second time, but I think the first smash, he meant that. He wasn't happy. 40-30. As we return now into the net by Demon. There it is. Alcaraz wins. Alcaraz wins pretty easily. There was a couple of highlight shots. But other than that, yeah, it was just kind of nothing. I mean, it's an exhibition, right? They're not gonna break their leg to win. But I don't know. Even like for an exhibition, it was it had some exciting moments, but not really. I don't know. I'm kind of overseeing Alcaraz play exhibitions. I want to see some stakes. I want to see some like actual. By the way, chat, on a serious note here, do you think that maybe playing, and I don't think this is for Alcaraz, but just playing all these exhibitions where there's no stakes, and then you've got to go play a slam where there's serious threat, and if you lose, you're out. Alcaraz hasn't done that he hasn't played a real match like most players since November. But he's played a lot of tennis. He's played a lot of exhibitions. Like playing when they've got stakes, that I don't think it will affect Alcaraz. But it's like he hasn't played a match that means something for a while. And the last time he did, he lost, right? He's been playing a lot of exhibitions, though. So he's been very active, but he's been playing for fun. So it's going to be interesting if, his first matches in the Australian Open, how, if he does lock in, and he will. But those first matches in Australia, like at the AO next week, will be interesting. If he had a slightly harder draw, I'd be concerned, but he doesn't, so he should be fine. But he's played a lot of exhibitions. Wally Mercer, this crowd is not entertained. I'm sorry. Are you not entertained? And they're all like, I guess we paid to be entertained, and I guess we got a tennis match. This crowd is not entertained. They're like, they're just being nice. Entertainment would have been a 10-point tiebreak at the end of the match. After what I saw, De Minaur is losing to Berrettini. Now, see, that's a real match, right? That's a serious good match. His match against Hanfman will be interesting. Hanfman's got a decent serve. So you're right. That could be interesting, second round Hanfman. Do you think Walton has a chance? Nah. I don't think so. By the way, Wally Mercer is just like giving De Minaur like, hey, by the way, your draw sucks. God, Alcaraz is like, yeah, I love that you're in my part of the draw because I can kick your ass. They're asking terrible questions. Stop asking De Minaur questions that are really awkward to answer. Come on now. He just got beaten in straight sets in an exhibition against a guy he might have to play next week. Come on. Give De Minaur a boost. Talk about his wedding or something. Talk about Katie Boulder. Don't talk about his terrible draw and his Berrettini first round match, and just don't stop kicking him. He's already down. God damn it, chat. What a terrible day for Australian tennis. It's been a shocking day. Who is versing Hurkacz first round? He's taking on Bergs. God, they're just asking, like, hey, how do you feel about having a terrible draw at the Australian Open? Oh, by the way, somebody ran over your cat. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, ask him an uplifting question. The man just lost an exhibition. Just talk about something else. I don't know, cars or football. I don't know. Do something else. Talk about Katie Boulder. Shit. Oh, god damn. It's hurting my feelings. Bublik makes me feel a little nervous, but still hope they finally get to play each other. Yeah. I would love De Minaur versus Bublik as a rematch from the French last year. That was a 5-setter epic, so that'd be fun. Are they both married? Who? These two? No. Alcaraz is I'm pretty sure a bachelor, and De Minaur is engaged. I think. I don't know. I might have made that up. I reckon the three Aussies to keep an eye on are Sweeney, McCabe, and Kubler. Yeah, maybe. I'll be honest. Aussie tennis is rough right now, and I'm not really keeping an eye on anybody. That's why I watch everybody else, because it's much more fun watching everybody else, because it's more. You get like Fonseca is better to watch. I like when Aussies win, but I just can't. They don't win very often, so we don't watch them. Yeah, I kind of. Yeah, I really just don't. Australian tennis is just too hard to watch. When you grew up watching Leighton, it's hard to watch now. Anyways, thanks for joining us, chat. I'll be back tomorrow to do some more stuff. But yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow. I'm not even sure who's playing tomorrow, but we'll figure it out. And Boko Andreeva could be a final, so that could be fun in Adelaide. Yeah, I don't know.
Shelton might be on tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. By the way, we've got the Australian Open starting in 3 days, so watching 100 matches this week is probably not the best idea. So yeah, we're gonna watch Sinner tomorrow. I can tell you that. Keep an eye out. Draw is coming out for the AO. Draw previews coming out. The AO draw is already out. Go check out the videos. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Alcaraz wins against De Minaur again. And this time it was like really easy.